Do you have an extra packet for him? Do you have an extra packet? He's trying to.
Oh, I don't even have mine right now, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can get it on.
There's a packet right there where y'all sits.
Okay. I got it here, thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the last BZA meeting. We had a chance to review those. Any comments, corrections, or amendments? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the September 8 minutes.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor, please acknowledge, raising your right hand. Aye. Any opposed? No. Alrighty, first item on the agenda is the variance on 57th West High Street. I'm assuming we have some presenters here on that. State your name, please.
Rhonda Hawkins,
Okay.
and I live at 57 West High Street. We have asked for a variance on our property to be able to have a dual residential dwellings on one plot. We received a variance back in 2018 from my brother, but he passed away before he could move in. The building had just been used for storage. Our children, our oldest children, had our daughter and her husband and their 2 kids had to move from the house where they were living or they were renting because the people were going to sell the house. Well, they haven't been able to find any place here in this area to rent. Both of the boys are in Mooresville schools. They're at Newby. And at this point, they're just going to be homeless if they don't have a place to go. So we would very much like to be able to renovate that building for them to be able to live in. That's pretty much the gist of it. The building has been in existence since 2003. It hasn't caused any problems within the community. We have a long driveway, plenty of parking. The traffic itself will not affect anyone. And we also have the people that live behind us, they have 2 dwellings on one plot. So we would just ask that you would take those things into consideration, as well as lots of rentals around the property where we live, and that you give us the permission to finish renovating this as a home for them. So.
Any questions?
I'm concerned if we're going to spend a lot of money for this building, why don't you just add on to the present home, make it larger?
It just seems that it would make more sense for them to have their own privacy and peace of mind, as well as us. My mother, Melba, has dementia pretty bad, and having new people in the home is really going to be a hard adjustment for her. I have issues myself with health problems. My husband has dementia as well, and we need to be able to keep our daily lives in as much words don't come to me easily, and I apologize. We need to keep our routines as best we can, just for us to be able to function from day to day. So it just makes sense for us to be able to have that space, I guess. Does that make sense?
Well, what I see is the updates in this building would make it a permanent fixture forever. Instead of being a variance, it's going to be a permanent change to the neighborhood. I know neighbors don't like to complain because they want to be good neighbors, but I sure would not want a house in the backyard next door to me. But
Okay. I'm open for whatever suggestions you have.
How big is the building, please?
It's a 25 by 25
And how many people?
for,
2 adults, 2 children? And approximately, 500 square feet?
yeah.
Anything else? Anyone else, please? State your name and where you live, please.
Dave Snyder, 51 West High Street, right next door. My wife wanted to be here. She sent her regrets. She's on an out-of-state business trip. And I had 2 neighbors that were here at the originally scheduled meeting. They wanted to be here also, and they called me 2 hours ago and said their granddaughters got Grandparents' Day, and that was more important than this. I don't want my neighbors to suffer in any way, but I strongly object to this proposed variance petition file 32106. It's a permanent change that addresses a temporary problem. The problem is overstated. It's not the town's responsibility, and many alternative solutions exist. The Hawkins family received a variance for this garage at workshop in 2018. I hesitantly went along with it because it was for a specific wheelchair-bound man, and it would be temporary. The BZA at the time understood that it would be temporary, but was also concerned that it would be turned into a permanent dwelling, and so they made it clear that it could only be for Rhonda's brother, who was listed by name, and no one else. Sadly, as Rhonda mentioned, he passed away before ever moving in, and now the Hawkins family wants a family of 4 to live there indefinitely. I request that the Board of Zoning Appeals honor that decision made on Thursday, October 11th, 2018. I have the minutes to that meeting here if needed. This request is not like putting a 3rd bay in a 2-car garage or glassing in a porch and calling it a sunroom. It is a major permanent change, and I have broad and specific objections to it. But for the sake of time, you said 3 minutes, so I'll skip all the stuff in the Mooresville comprehensive plan where it's quote after quote objecting to this type of change. Regarding some of the specifics of variance, clarify no one is homeless. No one's living in their car or tent. For years, the daughter lived just 3 houses away. That was very convenient, of course. That rental agreement was not renewed this past spring, I believe, so they've had time to find some other place. In fact, they told me that the daughter was living in the southwestern area of Marion County with her in-laws. That may not be where she wants to live, but that's far from being homeless, and it's not all that different from many others. It's not my place to talk about Ron and Rhonda's desire to have their daughter help them as they get older, but suffice it to say, you don't need to live on the property to do that. The request is also misleading. As stated, it says, the building's 25 by 25. It's not. Carpenters usually work in dimensions divisible by 4 or 8. The outside dimensions of this building are 24 by 24, meaning the interior dimensions are closer to 23 by 23. Why is that important? Well, it's important because it makes the square footage about 530 square feet. Now, I didn't find the required square footage for dwellings, but somebody from the town told me that R2 some of the dwellings have the minimum required square footage of 1,100. That's over twice what this is. Even mobile homes in town have a required minimum size of over 950 square feet. Not addressed is the ordinance on setbacks. Minimum required setback for an accessory building is 5 feet. Dwellings, 6 feet. The setback here is only 4 feet. And the closeness of this building to the property line has been a source of problems that's beyond the scope of this meeting. There's also concern about the load on the sanitary sewer system. They're asking to go from 1 2-bedroom dwelling to 2 2-bedroom dwellings on the same sewer line. And I'll skip all the stuff about why I moved to Mooresville and why I picked the house I did. But I'll tell you, Ron made it clear to me that this would not be a rental. He wasn't gonna rent it out. But let's face facts. If it's a standalone dwelling on the lot, it's a rental. Not charging rent doesn't change that. It just makes him a generous landlord. And would anybody believe for an instant that it wouldn't be rented out in the future, if not by them, by the next owners? And more importantly, most importantly, it doesn't matter if somebody's charging rent or paying a mortgage or they're living there for free. The fact is, it's a second dwelling unit on one property. This is an R1 property surrounded entirely by R1 properties. And, you know, this has the effect of making it an R2 or R3 zone, I'm not sure which, and it doesn't meet the requirements for those either, you know, in terms of square footage. And the rezoning hasn't been approved by the planning commission. The proposal also states what they intend to do. I was told by somebody from the town and have observed for myself that they have already made major renovations to the garage this year, changing doors, windows, lighting, whatever, without getting a variance or the required permits, and they didn't stop until directed to do so by the town. Approving this variance would send a message that people can do whatever they want, and if caught and stopped, the town would just grant them permission after the fact. There's also an issue of precedence. I've heard from others that they have tried to do the same thing in the past and have been told no. So to approve this would raise questions in their mind, and I think it might open the floodgates for similar requests. The neighbors don't want this either. You know, when we got the letter talking about this meeting.
You can't speak for the neighbors. I think your time's up, sir.
Okay, well, when I got the letter, a neighbor came to me and said, would you like to route a petition? And I said, I've got too much going on. I can't route a petition. And they said, that's okay. I'll do it. And they did. And so here's a petition. The people just in the immediate area said, no, they object to it. Not a lot of signatures. Again, it's just the immediate area. Of note, 11 people were canvassed, 10 people said no, the 11th person said he didn't care.
That's fine. You can take your seat now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Hi. I have a hearing problem, so I didn't hear anything that was being said up here, so if I repeat, please forgive me.
Your name, sir?
I'm sorry.
Your name, please?
My name is Ronald Hawkins, and I have been diagnosed with the onset of Alzheimer's. I wear the medical bracelet for when I get lost so they can find out who I am and where to take me back. My daughter is paid 8 hours a day to provide care for me, and earlier today, I know I'm going to continue to get worse. Earlier today, I tried to get to the bathroom, had troubles thinking about what I was doing, and I ended up soiling my pants. So my wife had to come in here and clean me up, and now I forget what I was going to say.
I think I understand where you're going on this, so, you know, just to save you a lot of time, and
I know how I'm sliding further and further away. And I've tried to explain it to Dave about my health problems and my wife's health problems, and I don't know if I had fallen on deaf ears. So that's what I wanted to say.
I need to ask the first presenter a question.
Sir, I can't hear you.
I said I need to ask the lady a question. After the first approval, how long was it until your brother passed?
Probably about 10 months.
10 months, and no work was done during that time period?
There was work done, it just was never completed.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
I couldn't get help at that time.
Okay.
Oh, and to let you know, my daughter and son-in-law and my 2 grandkids, they're going to be there on the property because I can't climb a ladder anymore. I can't even clean my own gutters. He's going to take care of the property for us, and then my daughter will be on property 24/7. If something happens to me, then she's right there, so all she has to do is come to the house, and once Robert and I are gone, my daughter, son-in-law, and grandsons will take over the whole property. So it'll just be they're home after that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Ma'am?
What was the basis of the, petition?
I'm sorry?
The basis of the petition that you just turned?
I didn't read the petition. It wasn't submitted in a timely fashion. Yeah, we've got the BZA application requesting yet another variance for this property. So I throw it out to the Board of Zoning Appeals to, if you want to take action, make a motion, not make a motion, or whatever. If you choose not to make a motion, it's your call. It'll be a die for lack of action.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very sympathetic to the family's problems, but, in my mind, I can't justify health reasons being a problem to have, to approve this request for variance. So I would make a motion to deny the request that this variance would.
I second that.
Okay, your motion is to deny. Deny is submitted. We have a motion to deny. The request is submitted. And the second, all in favor, please. Motion is denied. Next item on the agenda is rules and regulations updated drafts.
I would like to tell all of you, thank you very much, for having us here.
Thank you.
Let's see. I don't want to spend my own agenda.
We can't,
Yeah,
you know,
so, thank you much.
take care.
Take care.
Next item on the agenda is rules and regulation updated drafts. Have you had a chance to look at those?
Mr. Chairman, I have got a note from Tammy about having the starting time for the last time we did it, speed of later than 8 p.m. I'd like to do that.
I'm sorry?
This time,
Should be.
the idea to start the last time we did this prior to from CNA to
So there's some things you'd like to see changed, is that correct?
make a motion to change that to 8 o'clock for the last item of business to be started.
So to start it after the planning and zoning meeting? Because I can't hardly hear you, I'm sorry.
The BZA item for business would not start after 8, item of business would not start after 8 p.m.
Okay, would not continue after 8 or start after 8? Or
To end at 8.
it would not continue beyond 8 p.m.? Okay. Anything else? And you, ma'am?
Are there any other comments?
Any other comments?
No.
The only comment is the 8 p.m. ending to be,
If you want to vote on passing them or adopting them and sign them at the next meeting, I can have that one item changed, if that's
Okay.
all that you're interested in.
having that item changed by the next meeting, would you be willing to go ahead and take action on these as they stand with that stipulation that is changed to 8 p.m.? Okay, are you making a motion to that effect? Second? No, I
Second it, sorry.
have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay. Updated filing schedule. It's going to the 45 days, as I recall. Yeah.
With the updates that we are doing to the UDO with the instruction by Debbie Lazier, it has been brought to our attention that the time frame that we utilize now doesn't fly with everything that needs to be done between filing and the meeting. 45 days has been strongly suggested, and if we are going to go with that, I need to have the applications updated, and that would change the filing deadline as soon as November and December for January starts. So if you guys are in agreement, yes, I would like for you to adopt the change for the BZA applications timeframe.
It's changing the filing time on the BZA application, amending it to 45 days from what it is existing. That'll apparently make her job a lot easier. So if,
I'll make a motion to change it to 45 days.
you have a second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any new business for the Board of Zoning Appeals? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Somebody has to make it. Have a motion and a second. All in favor? The meeting's adjourned.